One of the reasons we did want to have this local business conference call as well is that AWIC is conducting another business survey. So we definitely wanted to plug that as we're trying as best we can to hear directly from businesses, the impacts, how it's affecting them, what's working and not working. So we may have to do another business call in a few weeks' time as well, and advertise a little more heavily and try and draw people out. But with that, we've got a lot of people on the line, and there's been a lot of new information brought forward and announcements and programs. So I thought first what we could do is just hear from some of our business support organizations, and they can provide an update on new programs and services and enhanced programs and services that have been announced in the last little while. In order to do that, maybe I'll start calling on the different people to see if they could unmute their microphones and update us. First up on deck, if it's all right, Christine, maybe you can provide an update from NOHFC on the new programs that were announced. No problem. There's always a technical difficulty or two on these calls. Maybe we'll switch over. Jonathan, do you want to talk about the survey just to start off?
Sure. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so we are doing another round of surveys with area employers, so in Sault Ste. Marie and actually all across Algoma. We did do a couple of surveys, obviously, earlier in the spring, like in April, in the May-June timeframe. So this is really just a check-in again with area employers to get some feedback on how the situation has evolved since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Again, get like hopefully a lot of data back and quantify the challenges that local businesses and organizations are experiencing 6 months in, to this situation across all sectors. And then also find out which programs really had or have been working well, which ones have had uptake, as programs are obviously switching. So that's why this call is so great. I mean, we have programs that are winding down and new programs starting. So we want to get feedback on which programs did have the most take up in our community. And then also look forward a little bit. I mean, it is obviously unclear, exactly how this is going to play out. But just hearing directly from employers, based on a couple of scenarios, what they see the future as looking at, so that we can obviously try to have as much support as possible. So, I mean, we are promoting the survey. We have sent the survey directly to employers. I do have the link up in the chat. If anybody, who has connections with employers can share that link as well through their channels, and we'll try to get as many people as possible. We've really just started, obviously, with the survey. We did pay to promote it, so we are advertising it on Sioux Today for one, and other sites across the region. So we will be promoting it as much as possible. We do want to, obviously the more employers that respond, the better. And it allows us to take our local information and kind of line it up with other sources of information. So it just helps us, paint more of a picture locally, allows us to share it with all of you, and also share the information publicly, just so, generally people understand, what local employers are dealing with, and continue, that messaging of obviously supporting our local businesses and local employers as we work our way through these challenges. So survey is up. It takes about 10 minutes just based on the responses so far. Again, no one really wants to wakes up and thinks I want to do a survey today, but it really does help us out in getting this information and being able to share it. So that's it. The survey is going.
Very good. Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate that. Maybe we can turn now. Dan Freya, do you want to provide an update on the CDC and the programs?
Yeah, just a quick update for everybody. Nice to see everybody. It seems like we're coming out of hibernation. I haven't seen some of you in about, I guess, about 4 months, I suppose. But the CDC is getting back to normal. We're back to relatively normal hours. The staff is there pretty much 5 days a week. We see clients and partners by appointment now in our boardroom, social distancing, and we do a lot of Zoom meetings as well. But things are somewhat getting back to normal. I have had meetings with Rory and Peter Bruins of the Northern Ontario Angels, so we're starting to get back into the normal swing of things. Just to kind of address John's survey, just one of the things that I've seen with our clients is we did postpone our payments for, as you may recall, till September. So when we got back to our client list to see if they needed a further extension or whatever, about 80% of them have resumed payments. So I'm going to take that as a big vote of confidence from that group. As John just mentioned, there is a lot of uncertainty still. But, when you're testing, who better than to ask the actual patient how they feel. So that's just a little bit of an update for you. We're still doing things as normal. We still have our normal loan activities, lines of credit and term loans. We're still working in the areas of expansions and startups and change of ownerships, equipment loans. Our terms are very favorable, I believe, reflecting the times. And and they're as always matchable with programs that RAIN or Northern Ontario Heritage might put forward, or the BDC, etc. So those things are pretty much open for business. Looking forward to, I guess, at some point, maybe when John's material comes in and sitting with the EDC and the city and our other stakeholders and talking about business community with Rory, a recovery plan or something like that. So I'm looking forward to participating in that, maybe in the days, weeks, and months to come. I don't know what our time frame is. Specifically, what I wanted to talk about today was the relief funds that the federal government announced. So the CDC, my organization, is one of the people who received those funds. So it's basically the same program as we were running. Up to $40,000 is available to businesses, generally for working capital. So we know that businesses have expenses that run, fixed costs of various types, and when there's no revenues coming in, that's where the problems exist. And as we all take a walk downtown, that's a place of concern, as there's not a lot of traffic down there as we would see normally. So just a little bit of those terms. Those are at 0% interest. There are no payments would be made until December 31st, 2022. So there's a fairly healthy time period there. Let's see. Of course, principal payments can be made at any time. If the loan is paid off by next December 31st, then 25% of that is forgivable. So that's a standard thing that you hear from time to time. Now, some of the clients we have helped, they're eligible for a top-up. If you have been receiving help from the bank or other programs, and those have been expired, then you're eligible for a top-up from us as well. So some of those funds, we've done a lot. I think we did about 800,000 over the summer, and I would suspect that our clients have burned through that cash. Naturally, that's what we gave it to them for. So you'll see us running some ads to invite them in to reflect on what their position is going forward into Christmas time and beyond that. So so I just wanted to share that we're here. We do have this particular very good program in the meantime, but our normal activities are all ready to go. So that's what I will say today, Tom.
That's great. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate that update. I just noticed one question in the chat from Peter Bruins, and he said, what kind of uptake are you getting from these funding programs, like the numbers of applications roughly?
Well, I would estimate, should call me a little bit flat-footed there, Peter. I'll have to return the favor someday. I think we received about, so 800,000, probably about 20 of them so far. And then we would anticipate, if we allocated the full amount, we would have a capacity for about 10 more clients at the full 40,000. Be sorry now, eh? You're always sorry after. But anyways, so we have it's been a full take up, and I would expect that if the demand exceeds what we have left, we'll approach the federal government for additional funds, or we'll mirror the program through our normal investment fund.
Great, thank you. Christine, do you want to try your microphone now, or? No, we're still not getting you. Okay, we'll come around perhaps at the end if we get it sorted out. Also on the line, I know we have Rory Ring. Rory, did you want to provide an update from the chamber front?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, if Christine can't get her microphone going, we know that NHSC has kind of put many of the programs on hold until January the 1st. And they've instituted the Northern Ontario Rapid Recovery Fund, which is up to $25,000. I think the commitment is about $20 million in total. It's done on a first come, first serve basis. So if you are looking to get anything funded, and again, it is backdated, I believe, to March 15th, and hopefully Christine can confirm that.
But she's going to dial into the phone line, so she should be on shortly.
Perfect. So so we'll let her take care of that. So and part of that funding, if we can, I've participated on the Committee of Economic Northern Development and Mines, Energy Northern Development and Mines Advisory Committee, and with not only our chambers across the network in Northern Ontario, but also from other sectors in our northern economy. And that fund is being a little bit of a result of the continued advocacy work of the chamber, but also connecting industry to the ministry. And it did catch us off guard that they put a pause on there. We knew the funding was coming. I'm surprised they put the pause on there, but that actually could be a positive thing as we move into the new year. So that is very good. We ran, I think in summer you would have seen the Canada United program, which is in support of Shop Local. There was it was right across Canada. There was an allocation to Ontario. It was oversubscribed. We should know whether some local businesses were able to access the funding up to $5,000 grant that was supported by RBC and the Chamber Network. We are actually trying to get the feds to top that fund up. So stay tuned. We should know next week whether or not there's going to be another round for our businesses to access up to a $5,000 grant to help pay for really any PPE that's being installed or that they've needed to get in place. A couple other things. We've got our regional, rapid activation program done, which is about your digital transformation and a digital footprint. People can find out about that at our website, ssmcoc.com. That program is a continuous intake, and we hope that people will take that and then start to leverage organizations like our Innovation Center to help implement part of what is established through their digital transformation plan. So that is a great program to take a look at. Also, if you are on our site, check out our data points. We've really sort of done a snapshot of a lot of data tracking from various sources that show, what's happening with our rebound into recovery, what's happening with our business community and different sectors of our economy. So there's some great information there, snapshot, really kind of infographic based with links to other detailed information. It's a great product that we've done through our volunteer Barry Nanny. We also have announced just last night a partnership with Algoma Marketplace. So algomamarketplace.ca, it is a shop local online storefront. So for anybody who is venturing into trying to sell their goods and services over the internet, this is a great place to go. Registration is free, and there's support mechanisms there. So Algoma Marketplace is a great place to go and get your initial storefront, and even to support your social media storefront, or even your existing storefront. So we're launching that campaign this weekend, Algoma Marketplace, and we're really trying to make sure we're getting the message out that shopping local only benefits your community. Yes, we're doing it so it is running at the same time that Amazon Prime is doing their Prime Days on the 13th and 14th. So we're really trying to counter that message that those products and services are available local for curbside pickup or delivery, and it will help support your local economy. We are going to launch in the next week or two a program under the banner of Safe Today, Healthy Tomorrow. Is a product that allows you to track your illnesses, because now you've got mandatory reporting from Algoma Public Health. So as you employees come into your place of business, you have to be able to ask them a series of questions and then be able to track them. So we're actually launching in a partnership with Get Ready, a program that will allow people to do this on their phones. So you, whether you're a department manager or a business owner, the employees will be able to go on their phone on a mobile device, answer the series of questions, and load them into a dashboard so that you are able to manage and control your deployment of human resources in your business. That's going to be a great product. So keep your eyes open for that. It's very cost effective. If you're a chamber member, it'll be $295 per employee per month, or there's also quarterly and yearly installments. So it's a very inexpensive way to digitize your employee tracking and your mandatory reporting through Algoma Public Health and the Ontario Public Health Unit. So some great stuff coming there. We just celebrated our 131st annual general meeting on Tuesday. We had a great discussion with Jan De Silva, who's the CEO and president of the Toronto Regional Board of Trade. And she had some great messaging. And boy, there was a short little video there. And if you have a chance, we'll be putting the video component on our website next week. It shows you downtown Toronto. And, you know, for those of us who travel downtown Toronto for a business, you know, we see what it's like in the morning at rush hour and in the evening at rush hour when it's an absolute zoo. And I bet you in this video, there probably wasn't even 5 people in the background. And it's really amazing to see how much of a ghost town, you know, even Toronto has become during this pandemic. And their small businesses are going through exactly the same thing that we're feeling here in Sault Ste. Marie. Can you imagine going from 800,000 people, I think was the number in downtown Toronto, to less than 10,000 people that are going to work in downtown Toronto? And a lot of that is obviously because of the transit infrastructure and the need to move people in a very dense way. So now with social distancing, the remote workforce has taken over. And it's quite eye-opening to see what's also happening in those large metropolitan areas. So those small businesses are going through. We're not. I mean, the message again, as you see clearly there, is that we're not alone. We're all in this together. You know, in a global sense. So you know, as much as we maybe feel isolated and alone here in Sault Ste. Marie, we're not. The business community is struggling right across the country. And, you know, the support mechanisms that are being rolled out have only been beneficial to support our small business community. And hopefully going forward, we'll start to, and we continue to advocate for a regional approach in Ontario. We are seeing cases in Sault Ste. Marie, don't get me wrong, but we don't have the same density and intensity. And we want to make sure our businesses can stay open and keep people employed and continue to service their customers and keep our economy going. So we continue to work on those efforts to keep our local businesses operational. There will be, Jonathan, hopefully we're going to be forwarding out the results on the Ontario Economic Report. There was a survey that went out through the Ontario Chamber of Commerce to get input. We did surpass the hurdle to get our local data. So obviously once we get that, we'll share that with you and your team and the team on the phone here to get a sense of, you know, where we are. Obviously that data will be a snapshot from a month ago. So Jonathan, it'd be really interesting to see, you know, what the result of your data collection is versus a month ago. So it'd be interesting to see what those trends are looking like. Generally, overall, what it shows is that there is increasing business confidence in where things are heading, but there is very much low consumer confidence. So, you know, filling that gap is going to be very important for us going forward. And we hope that, you know, our Safe Today, Healthy Tomorrow will create that confidence in our consumer base. From the tourism side, you know, it's been a mixed bag of feedback. The more isolated tourist destinations that rely heavily on the American market have suffered dramatically. Those that are on sort of the main arteries have done okay because of the travel from Southern Ontario and the find your own backyard. And I think I saw Travis on the line as well, and he may have some greater feedback on what he's heard from the community. But from our membership, it was a challenge, but yet they seem to have survived. So, you know, so that's it from us. We've been very active. Got a couple of great things happening in the works. So please stay tuned. Go to our website, you know, to get updated, to get our resources, and to stay connected. So thanks very much, everybody. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, great. Thanks, Roy. Maybe we'll see, Christine, were you able to join in on the line?
Yeah, I'm here, Tom. Can you hear me now?
We can. Perfect.
Awesome. Well, it's good to see everybody. So thank you, Roy, for talking about the NHSC program. So as many of you are probably aware, at the end of September, NHSC, they wound down their previous funding programs that they had, and they did so that they could focus exclusively on the Northern Ontario Recovery Program. So this is a new program that's open to all businesses across Northern Ontario, and it's designed to help businesses across the north that have basically had to adapt their operations to meet the public health guidelines and to be able to protect their employees, protect their customers. And so we have this program, and it's running from October 1st, so we're about a week in, and it's going to run until December 31st. It is on a first-come, first-served basis, so I'll go through some of the information, but definitely if you have employers that are interested, I would encourage them to apply sooner rather than later, because the uptake we're expecting to be pretty high. So really, it's open to businesses in the north that have operated for at least 1 year as of March 17th, 2020. So we are looking at all sectors. We are looking at, you know, sole proprietors, corporations. We're targeting SMEs, but all businesses are eligible, and seasonal as well. So don't be concerned about any of that. So with that, so they have to have been in operation for at least 1 year as of March, and they have to basically be doing activities that are where they've incurred costs to adapt their business operations and practices to meet public health guidelines for their operations under the new reopening stages. So while we appreciate that many businesses probably have been doing other, you know, expansion activities, the focus of this program is on activities that are specific to what the businesses had to do to adapt their operations and their practices to improve both the safety of their own employees and their customers because of COVID and because of the emergency order. So eligible costs under the program, a variety of things. We have construction costs, leasehold improvements, newer used equipment, restructuring of the business operations, marketing for new initiatives, not traditional marketing, but marketing related to COVID, personal protective equipment, customer, employee, or safety installations that they may be had to incur, as well as other costs that they deemed necessary in order for their business to continue operating or to reopen. So it is not exclusively for businesses that have had to close. Those businesses that have stayed open since March are eligible as well. And then in terms of the funding is very advantageous to a lot of businesses. We're looking at NOHFC covering 100% of the eligible costs up to $25,000. And that's in a conditional contribution or a grant. If they're successful, they'll enter into a contribution agreement with the province, and then they will simply submit all of their receipts, invoices, proof of payment, and then they'll get one reimbursement from NOHFC. So that's essentially the program. In terms of application, it's on the NOHFC website. So nohfc.ca, you'll create a login, you'll create a profile, you will, the only application that's on the system right now is the Northern Ontario Recovery Program, so that makes it simple for businesses to follow. You could go through the application, and then you can seek out a Northern Development Advisor, someone like myself, and we're across the north, where the business can ask questions, or they can share their application directly with an advisor, and so the dashboard allows them to do so. And then in terms of NOHFC will receive them in the order they come. They'll look at them each on a case-by-case basis, but they're going to be, in terms of evaluating those projects, key aspects for NOHFC is that they're looking at evidence to support that either the business has experienced a loss of revenue or an increase in expenses directly attributed to the province's emergency order and directly related to the COVID pandemic. As well as the applicant will be required to provide some type of financial history to demonstrate that they've been in operation for at least a year as of that April 17th date. And then NOHFC, and Roy alluded to this, NOHFC will look and it will go back to costs. Eligible costs will go back to March 17th of 2020. And so, and as much as the application runs from October 1st to December 31st, the applicant or the business does not have to incur all of their costs by December 31st. If they anticipate that there will be some costs that they will incur in the new year, and it's within a reasonable amount of time, NOHFC will consider those as well. So that's a lot, but the guidelines are on the NOHFC website. It's a pretty cut and dry program, but if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, just one comment, Christine, is that if some of the businesses that to access your funds, they can come to us for a bridge loan to sort of get them started, and is that all right? And incur those costs and then recover those funds later? So
the key piece for NOHFC is that any of the costs that an applicant is submitting to NOHFC for reimbursement, they cannot have received funding from the federal government, the province, or a municipal government. So whether it be a grant or a loan that they may have received from those, then they cannot be submitting for the same costs. So if there happens to be a capital or equipment cost that they've received federal or provincial funding for, then they cannot submit to NOHFC for those under this program.
Okay, well, what I was thinking is if I had a business and I needed to incur some of these costs, but because of maybe the situation, I may not have the capital to go out and buy the things and then have you reimburse me later. So the CDP could provide those funds up front. So we're not, I think we're funded through the federal government. We're not part of the federal government. That's one part of the discussion. But the other is that we could supply the capital to get them going, and then they can reimburse. When you reimburse them, they'll just pay us out as a way to get, from here to there. Is that something that's acceptable?
It would have to be looked at on the specific basis, but we could talk.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so I'm available to help with this program as well as the rest of my Sault Ste. Marie area team. We're all the advisors. We're all, all hands on deck to help support businesses with the application process and to answer any questions. So I encourage people to reach out to us.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Christine. And it sounds like a really important and a beneficial program to our area businesses. As you said, it's first come, first serve. So definitely let's all encourage our local businesses here to try and take advantage of this opportunity as soon as they can.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Next up on deck, I know we have Katie Elliott online. Katie, just wondering if you can unmute and discuss a couple updates from the PUC. Okay, maybe not. I will switch up. When Katie becomes available, we'll let it go. Tracy Forsyth, have you dialed into the line? Oh, okay. It looks like Katie might be off mute. Katie, are you able to join now? All right, not yet. Technical difficulties. While some of these folks get online, just wanted to point out that, again, there are support resources online. We have documented a number of the programs on the city website, so feel free to go to the City of Sault Ste. Marie website, saultestemarie.ca, and then / COVID-19 businesses. And we're providing up-to-date information there. I know the Chamber has information on their website as well. So definitely feel free to access those resources. As I said, we're going to record this session and we'll make it available as well. If people weren't able to make it today, they can dial in and take a view of it. We also have Harleen Puar from our Millwork site. Harleen has a new program as well. And Harleen, are you able to unmute and talk about that a little?
I hope so. Tom, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hallelujah.
Perfect. Yeah, so there's some great supports out there, grants available, loans through CDC that we've been assisting businesses apply for. But we also saw that as business owners were pivoting their strategies and operations to adjust to these new requirements, purchase new PPE, they were finding themselves excessively busy to, as they adapted to the new schedule, staffing levels, and other reopening requirements. So as such, we're launching a new micro grant program. It's much smaller scale, but it will allow small businesses affected by COVID to access professional services for smaller projects, to implement any necessary changes as required to adapt to reopening requirements. So for example, this grant, they would be able to use it to retain third-party approved consultants for such as digital marketing experts to update and modernize their website, or marketing consultants or business advisors to research new markets and promotions, or even professional advisors such as accountants to assist in applying for government assistance programs. This program will help fund up to 90% of the professional services to a maximum of $1,500, where the business will be required to pay upfront for the project cost and submit a proof of payment to Millworks to obtain the reimbursement amount. We will be posting, we have pretty straightforward eligibility criteria for these businesses for this specific program, and we will be posting more details on our website next week. There will be limited spots available, so we will also be looking at applications on first come, first serve basis. All the details will be posted on themillworks.ca, which is our website, as well as the application will also be available online.
Great, thanks, Arlene. I know John Pergamet from the Innovation Center side, or Peter Bruins. I know, John, you were going to provide a little update on some of your programs, but I'll open the floor for the folks from the Innovation Center now.
Thanks. Thanks, Tom. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thanks.
Yeah, great. So just a little bit of an update since I think the last time we talked. We have currently right now 3 programs that are running to provide financial support for organizations that are at different different stages. First one is the Innovation Accelerator Program, or IAP program, and that program there is really aimed at starting to help organizations who are small to medium-sized enterprises with support in terms of developing or at critical stages of developing or commercializing new products or innovations or services that are geared towards growth. And so things like kind of eligible activities would be like planning and development, sales and marketing strategies, business planning, things around product development, testing, product testing, those types of things, intellectual property protection, those types of items. And that has a maximum financial assistance of about $10,000 on a 50-50 cost sharing basis. That's the one program. The second one is the Business Technology Improvement Fund, and that's been around for about a year. And we've had some very good uptake on that program. We've distributed close to, I think, $285,000 in terms of projects or funding on that particular program. And that's eligible for small to medium-sized business that are looking to get funding to acquire digital technology or e-business and marketing type solutions to kind of move their organization forward or accelerate with growth. And that one there has a little bit of an eligibility requirement in terms of a business with a year, having to be in business for about a year, and then also a minimum threshold of revenue of $30,000. And those types of things could go up to $25,000 on a 50-50 cost sharing too. That's the maximum. And it could be used for a number of different activities in terms of being able to kind of move the organization forward. So productivity or things associated with sales and marketing or adopting technologies to kind of enable their businesses. And the last one, which has been very popular over the last little while, is the CTAF, which is the COVID Technology Adoption Fund. And this fund is eligible for businesses in the Algoma region. And as well, municipalities and First Nations are also eligible. And this is, they provide eligible businesses with capital to acquire digital technology solutions, marketing, so they can sort of future-proof their organization. So anything to do with productivity, financial management, social marketing solutions, collaboration and learning, customer service, and also mobile working and computing. Things that will help future-proof their organizations, help support them as we kind of move out or move into this new reality. So these funds, in addition to some of the training programs that we're offering, are available, and all our staff are available for consultation and providing one-on-one services with clients. That's about it.
That's great. Thanks, John. Much appreciated. Let's try one more time. Katie, are you able to unmute and join? No. Okay.
Hey, Tom.
Oh, there we go.
No, it's Tracy. I was having technical difficulties myself. I just wanted to check and see if you could hear me now.
I'm glad you're able to join.
Yeah, I kept saying, hey. Anyways, glad I could have an opportunity to be part of the group today. So I just wanted to, many of you may know, as May 13th, we announced the Regional Relief and Recovery Fund, Stream 1 and 2. The first part of that stream was being delivered by FedNor, and then the other by our CFTCs. So through that, we received approximately $49.5 million, which resulted in, I think, over 762 businesses accessing the fund across both Stream 1 and 2. And so that was great. So as of October 2nd, many of you may have seen in the media that we received another $22.3 million in regional relief and recovery funding to through Stream 1 and 2. A portion will go to the CFTCs to continue delivering support, in particular liquidity support to businesses that are suffering as a result of the pandemic. So that's kind of what's going on here at FedNor. So through that Regional Relief and Recovery Fund, or we're calling it the second season, businesses are still eligible. We're also, through that fund, as we had previously, provided support to business associations that deal directly with SMEs, such as our Chambers of Commerce and SAMHSAs of the world. So that continues to remain static under this season 2. We're also looking at those tourism organizations that have commercial activities, that require some assistance there. And my understanding is there could be some further adjustments to our program, in the next little bit, which will be updated on our website. But as it stands, what we did in the previous round remains fairly static. So companies could receive up to $40,000 under this program. They could receive more than that, but if they receive up to $40,000, then we can consider forgiveness on part of that loan, up to $10,000. Our program maximum is $250,000, and it's over a 6-month period. So if clients or businesses have incurred costs or they anticipate incurring some liquidity costs during the period of September 16th to close to the end of March. I think they're kind of going back and forth on the end date of the program. As it stands, it's about March 16th. We could consider providing support to help businesses through that period of time. Similar to the NHSC, it's a continuous intake process. As soon as the funding is maximized, then we'll have to close down the program, obviously. And I guess that's it. Does anyone have any questions?
That's great. Thanks, Tracy. Any questions anybody had of the FedNor program? Katie, is that you on the line?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry about that. It's nice to be here with everybody and see some faces. That's great. I just wanted to provide a couple updates for small business electricity customers. I believe Jim McLean made mention on a previous call the COVID-19 Energy Assistance Program for small businesses. So there have been some changes to eligibility for that program because it was, I think they found it to be a bit limiting. So the major change for small businesses are that customers who made at least a partial payment with respect to amounts owing from bills before March 17th will now be eligible. Before it was you didn't make any payments. Now they're accepting if you made even partial payments, you may be eligible to apply. So for those who have already applied, they'll be reassessing and they'll let you know if you're eligible. Of course, for those who haven't applied yet, you can check out our website. The information is there, or you can check out the Ontario Energy Board website as well for more information on that program. There are some changes to eligibility for the residential program as well. I won't touch on those necessarily, but they're similar in nature. You can find more information on our website. The second update I wanted to raise is regarding consumer choice starting November 1st. So for residential and small business customers, starting November 1st, you will have a choice between time of use pricing and tiered pricing. There's more information on our website right now on this as well. There will be as of Tuesday, October 13th. There'll be information on to help guide your decision. The Ontario Energy Board will have a calculator so you can look at past energy consumption and look at what choice would be best for you. So as of the 13th, you can download an election form, fill that out if you do choose to change to tiered pricing. If you don't fill out the form or send anything in, then you will automatically continue the time of use pricing, and there will be updates to that as of November 1st as well. So there's lots of changes happening on that front. But if anybody has any questions, you can always reach out to us. You can reach out to myself. Happy to help go through those changes. So those are the two big ones, changes to the SEEP program, as well as upcoming consumer choice with regards to time of use and tiered pricing for small businesses.
That's great, Katie. Thank you very much. Some major programs there as well. So we appreciate that update.
Great, thank you.
Great. At this time, does anybody have any other questions or items they would like to address the group with? Okay. Hearing none, I want to thank everyone for their updates today and appreciate you providing this information. As I said, we'll work to make sure people who have missed the call are aware and can tune in and listen to it, because I think there was some really great information shared and a lot of important programs that are new to support our businesses. So certainly this has been a trying period for everyone, and especially our business community. We are in the second wave now. We want to thank everyone in the community for your leadership in helping Sault Ste. Marie manage our COVID outbreak, and the community on a whole doing very well comparatively to other areas of the province. So we want to thank you for that. Certainly we want to continue to support our local businesses, and we want to spread the word about those businesses that people can frequent and support during this pandemic. So I think together we can all help to do that. With that, we can sign off now. Wish everyone a very good Thanksgiving weekend, and stay safe and all the best. Thank you.